It's official. Sukai and Songyun announced their wedding. The entire internet is shaking. No one had expected the announcement to drop without warning, not even the fans who had been waiting, predicting, and dissecting every tiny detail of Sukai and Songyun's relationship for years. But when the official statement finally appeared, silently at first, on both of their studios' verified accounts at the exact same minute, the entire internet seemed to freeze, unable to process what it was seeing, until the reality slammed into everyone with an emotional force that felt almost unreal. They were getting married. Not rumored. Not speculated. Not hinted. Confirmed. Declared. Announced with a simplicity so direct that it left millions breathless. Hold on tight, C-drama family. The world of your favorite celebrities is unfolding before your eyes, and every moment is more breathtaking than the last. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications right now, because trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next. The statement, short and formal, revealed nothing more than the truth. Sukai and Songyun were engaged, the families had given their blessings, and the wedding date had been set. But what the statement did not include, the details it purposely left out, became the spark that ignited a global frenzy. Fans, news outlets, industry insiders, and even fellow celebrities all rushed to find out what really happened behind the scenes. What conversations took place before this announcement? What events led to this moment? What emotions filled the private spaces where the cameras could not reach? Because while the post was composed with calm professionalism, the truth behind it was anything but calm. It all began the night before the announcement, in the quiet living room of Songyun's family home, where the atmosphere held a tension so fragile and tender that it felt like even the slightest sound could shatter the moment. Sukai sat across from her mother, his posture steady yet respectful, his voice calm but carrying the weight of everything he felt. He had rehearsed the words 100 times in his head, but when the moment arrived, he discarded every prepared line and spoke directly from the heart. He admitted how deeply he loved Songyun, how long he had held that love in silence, how fiercely he wanted to protect their relationship from gossip, noise, and industry pressure, and how certain he was that he wanted a future with her, a real future, built on permanence, partnership, and unwavering devotion. Songyun watched him speak, her hands clasped tightly in her lap, her heart racing with a mixture of fear, hope, and overwhelming emotion. Because for years, she had been careful, cautious, guarding her private life with almost unbreakable discipline, but as she listened to him, she realized that she no longer wanted to protect her heart from something that had already become a part of her. When her mother finally responded, her voice was soft, carrying both the weight of maternal concern and the clarity of someone who had observed their connection long before they admitted it. She told Sukai that love was not measured by grand gestures or perfect timing but by consistency, sincerity, and quiet endurance, and that she had seen all of that in him. That conversation set the wheels in motion. But the final decision to announce the wedding publicly came hours later, after a moment that neither of them could have predicted. Around midnight, as the rain tapped gently against the windows and the city outside dimmed into its late-night hush, Songyun confessed something she had kept hidden. She told Sukai that she had been afraid that the world would judge them, attack them, dissect them. Afraid that public pressure would destroy the fragile happiness they had built in private. Afraid that loving someone so visible meant sacrificing the quiet peace she cherished. Sukai listened silently, absorbing every word as if it were a precious truth he had been waiting to hear. And then he told her the one thing that changed everything. He told her that he was ready to face the world for her, with her, beside her. That no rumor, no headline, no storm of public opinion could ever make him step back from the life he wanted to build with her. That her fear wasn't a burden, it was an honor, because it meant she cared deeply about protecting what mattered. And in that moment, under the soft glow of their living room lights, the entire world outside disappeared, leaving only the two of them, bound not by fame or circumstance but by the kind of love that endures quietly until it becomes strong enough to stand in the light. When she finally said yes, it was not with dramatic tears or grand declarations but with a quiet, trembling honesty that carried more power than any spectacle. It was a yes that rewrote their future, a yes that erased the years of secrecy, and a yes that led directly to the announcement that broke the entire internet the next morning. But nothing, not the statement, not the interviews, not even the photos, prepared the world for what happened next. Because the moment their engagement became public, their studio's phone lines crashed. Reporters flooded the press rooms. Fan cafes overflowed with posts so emotional they read like personal letters. Hashtags exploded globally within minutes, overtaking charts across Asia, Europe, America, and Africa. Actors who had worked with them before released congratulatory messages filled with disbelief. Directors began discussing future projects with the new power couple. Even rival fandoms united for the first time in years, their long-standing competitive tension melting into shared celebration. And yet, amidst all the chaos, the two people at the center of the storm remained calm. They sat together in Sukai's apartment, the sunlight warming the room through the floor-to-ceiling windows, their phones buzzing endlessly on the table, untouched. Instead of refreshing social media or contacting their studios, they simply held hands in a quiet moment that felt far more significant than the roaring approval of the world. It was the calm before the next tidal wave, the media conference, the first joint appearance as an engaged couple, the wedding preparations that would soon flood their schedules. But for now, they chose to sit in silence, heart to heart, knowing that this was just the beginning. The announcement had already sent shockwaves through every corner of the entertainment world, but what happened after Sukai and Songyun confirmed their wedding was something no one could have predicted, because the moment the news went live, the calm facade around their relationship dissolved into a tidal wave of emotion, disbelief, celebration, fear, joy, and a level of public obsession so intense that even veteran celebrity managers couldn't contain it. What made this revelation so powerful wasn't only the fact that two beloved stars were finally admitting what fans had speculated for years, but that their confirmation came with an honesty so raw, so unfiltered, and so deeply intimate that it felt less like a press release and more like a confession whispered directly into the hearts of millions. The video announcement began simply, without dramatic lighting or glamour, without red carpets or makeup teams, just the two of them sitting side by side in a quiet room filled with warm daylight. Songyun wore a soft, understated dress, her hair falling gently over her shoulders, her expression calm yet tinged with unmistakable emotion. Sukai sat beside her, his posture protective yet relaxed, his eyes reflecting the weight of everything they were finally ready to share. For a moment they didn't speak, allowing silence to wrap around them like a curtain before the truth emerged. When they finally began talking, their voices carried a softness that contrasted sharply with the booming chaos erupting online. Sukai spoke first, his tone steady, explaining that the rumors had grown too loud, the speculation too invasive, the pressure too heavy to keep hiding something so meaningful. He admitted that what started as a private relationship had turned into something bigger than they ever imagined, and he wanted the world to hear the truth from them, not from tabloids, not from anonymous insiders, not from anyone who had tried to twist their story for clicks and attention. Songyun added to his words with her own quiet honesty, speaking about the difficulty of protecting love in an industry that thrives on exposure, the struggle of maintaining a relationship under constant surveillance, the delicate balance between personal happiness and professional responsibility. Her voice trembled only slightly when she said that despite the challenges, despite the nights spent hiding from cameras or dodging rumors, despite the fear that one wrong step could derail both their careers, they chose each other every single time. It was that choice, repeated again and again across months and years, that eventually led to this announcement. But the most astonishing moment came when Sukai reached for her hand, intertwining their fingers with a tenderness that felt almost fragile. His voice lowered as he confessed that the decision to marry wasn't sudden, wasn't impulsive, wasn't driven by pressure from fans or agencies, but was instead the result of countless conversations, shared dreams, fears, laughter, and the realization that he couldn't imagine building a future with anyone else. He said he had waited for the right moment, the right timing, the right alignment of courage and certainty, and that moment had finally arrived. The camera captured every emotion between them, every lingering glance, every gentle smile, every slight tightening of their hands. It was the kind of footage that no director could orchestrate, no writer could script, because it was born from something real, something lived, something deeply felt.